Okay, this is a old piece of paper from a photo album, an empty photo album. Might be like 100 years old, very fragile, very discolored in a nice way. I'm using 6B graphite made by Caran. It's called Grafcube. I'm just starting with some improvised shapes. Don't know really where it's headed at this point. Just kind of got some bull horns on there. There's a circle. I feel like I'm poking a hole in it right there. Oh, now I switched to 9B charcoal, graphite, so oh my god. Because, obviously it's softer and makes a more dramatic mark. And I wanted that hole to be deeper. Turning the paper with one hand while drawing basically a straight line with the right hand most of the time, and then I turn my right hand a little bit as well. I like to play with positive, negative shapes a lot. I think of it as lighting when I do that, like changing the lighting angle, pushing and pulling. And I'm going from making an internal shape to an external shape a lot of times. So that kind of started as an internal shape, and now this is ending as an external shape. And then turning this into a point right here makes it a positive shape. And creating a space underneath it gives it form. This is like a base. And then more light and dark play right there. This is definitely a positive shape. Something like an arm or a horn, but the shape of it is really complex based on the angle of the graphite. It can be sort of wedge-like, or more like a claw. You can see I'm just pushing that shape out right there because it wasn't really too clear. So here I am making a really dramatic decision on this thing, creating these sort of bands. This is where I start thinking about decorative motifs as opposed to cuts or shapes. See right there, that angle wasn't quite right, so here I am refining it, going back in, cleaning up. Little shapes like that is a big part of this. Making those decisions feels really important to me. It's part of my perfectionist nature. It's just not letting those things slide, seeing a shape that doesn't fit. So there's this fold at the bottom of the paper that I'm playing with there. You'll see later on I kind of mess with it a little bit. Yeah, here I am refining this shape. This shape really bothered me, so I'm going back over it. I like to get really dark at the edge sometimes to kind of frame the image, make it feel more sculptural. Again, just refining this shape, but also darkening it so it is more dramatic, more pronounced. And then adding a hole in this shape, sort of cone shape. I really like when that dramatic shift happens. And I just decide to put a hole in something. It works nicely. Yeah, so right there I cracked the surface, which I don't mind. I think it just gives it some character. There I am playing with that edge again, just like letting it be a part of the composition feels really really kind of opportunistic, I guess. It's okay, let it be part of the composition. Since it's there, it's not like anybody's going to be able to ignore it when they look at it. Okay, here's the other arm. And then this shape right here is sort of like part shape, part decorative motif, part just angle that adds to the excitement of the shapes. Yeah, pulling a curve out of the side, more framing. Kind of a decorative frame. There's less thinking about reshaping this shape or adding dimension to it, but just kind of decorating it. And then because the interior angle of this one corner to the right is there, I don't really like the way that interior shape was, so I put a hole there. And I like it. I think it turns the whole thing into like a pair of Cyclops characters. This is sort of pushing back this background shape, kind of creating a deeper dimension to it. Here, just sort of like putting a louder pronouncement on this horn shape by adding sort of things pointing to it, things aiming towards it, things kind of like taking down the size of the shapes around it. Again, just kind of reinforcing the tension in the image. So I thought I was done here. Looked at it for a second and went, no, I need to do something with this shape here. Pushing it back a little bit. Not really adding anything shape-wise, but just sort of giving it a bit of character. There I switched over to 6B, so a little bit harder graphite. That will give a little bit of a softer tone. Adding these just sort of secondary forms. Not forms, secondary kind of like refinements of these shapes to sort of add a little tension to them. Bring them a little bit more energy. There's definitely a form decision. And then another hole in the top of this. Because it's 6B, it's not quite as deep. Oh, yeah, okay. Connecting a couple of stray lines there. And just cleaning up this bottom area. It seemed kind of empty. Adding a little extra dimension to some things. A little more excitement. I spend a lot of time looking at these things. Deciding, oh, I'm going to put a hole in here. I'm going to put this like slot in the middle of this shape. Make it a little bit more interesting. A little drop here, coming over the edge. This feels mostly done at this point. I'm just kind of dropping in some kind of more tenderness. This is 6B over 9B, so I'm kind of adding just another layer of softness to it. A few more little adjustments here and there. I always feel like I'm, deciding when to be done the entire time. Trying to figure out when I'm done. Because the material is so fast and so inexpensive, it just kind of doesn't matter. I don't want to ruin a drawing, but I don't really care too much. Yeah, nice. Thanks for watching. Oh, look, I'm not done yet. Look at this. Yeah, adding a little more depth to this hole, this slot, just to make sure it's not like a half thought, I like to make a decision, a solid decision. More framing,